Ladies and gentlemen, we all say Vande Mataram with pride and from our hearts. There is nothing communal or religious about the idea of bowing down to one's mother. And yet, later tonight when I shall ask my fellow panelists to chant this sentiment of our independence, to free our motherland with the same joy and the same devotion, you will see many struggle and hesitate and have problems in saying Vande Mataram. The Prime Minister asked in Parliament today if the Congress bent to the Muslim League's demands. And the question you may have is, why does it matter in 2025? To that I reply, it does. That the roots of appeasement politics, balancing and compromising India's national interests for a party's political interests are deep-rooted in the party named the Indian National Congress, more appropriately the Vadra Congress, or as the Prime Minister noted, the Muslim League led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah in 1937 carried out a drive against Vande Mataram. But the Congress and Jawaharlal Nehru, rather than opposing them, started probing Vande Mataram instead, started investigating Vande Mataram. Viewers, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay composed Vande Mataram around 1875. It was part of Arnab, the story, the magnificent story of a rebellion of sannyasis in 18th century Bengal. But according to Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and I quote, Vande Mataram was not only idolatrous, but its origin and substance a hymn to spread the hatred for the Muslims. And why should we not expose Nehru? For Nehru, in a letter written to Subhash Chandra Bose on October 20th, 1937, wrote, and I quote, he said, I have managed to get an English translation of Anandamath, and I am reading it at present to get the background of the song. And these are Nehru's words. He says, and I quote, it does seem that this background is likely to irritate the Muslims. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the words of Nehru. These are the thoughts of Nehru. Not all stalwarts of the Congress felt that way. Guru Rabindranath Tagore first sang it at the Calcutta session of the Congress in 1896. In fact, Madam Bhikaji Kama unfurled the first tricolour abroad in Stuttgart with the words Vande Mataram written on it. In 1905, during the partition of Bengal, it became the battle cry for Indians against British divide and rule policy. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, under his presidency of the Congress, adopted it to be sung on national occasions. But in 1923, when Muhammad Ali Johar, one of the founding members of the Muslim League, became the Congress president, he walked out of the meeting as soon as Vande Mataram was sung. That was the hatred of the Muslim League for Vande Mataram. But where is this Muslim League mindset coming today? People say, don't go back into history. I say, go back into history. They say, don't let the skeletons come out. I say, let the skeletons come out. They say, don't reopen old wounds. I say, imagining that a wound does not exist will not allow it to heal. And therefore, I would like to share with you that on 21st June 1948, Nehru wrote to Shama Prasad Mukherjee, who went on to form the Janasangh. And these are the words of Nehru. Priyanka Vadra, Robert Vadra, Sonia Gandhi, read this. He said, personally, I do not think Vande Mataram is at all feasible as a national anthem, chiefly because of its tune, which does not suit orchestral or band rendering. What was this man, Nehru? He said the tune of Vande Mataram is not good. God Save the King will sound good for him. God Save the Queen will sound good for him. This is Nehru's Macaulay mindset that the Prime Minister talks about. The man had this great inferiority complex. He always wanted to be considered to be a British. And then he said, Janagana Mana, on the other hand, has been greatly appreciated in foreign countries as well as India, so on and so forth. This is the Macaulay mindset. His concern was, will a Western orchestra be able to play Vande Mataram? Did this man even consider himself a son of the soil to think like this? The Prime Minister has therefore started calling the Congress MMC, or Muslim League or Maowadi Congress, and in upcoming days you're going to hear this more often. This is my prediction. Therefore, what are the lessons to be learnt? This is the reason, these kind of debates, because Gen Z must know about the history of this country. This party, the Vadra Congress, is soaked in the Macaulay mindset. The organization that did the Tukde Tukde of your national song that represents the spirit of Indian nationalism and freedom. They have picked their sides, ladies and gentlemen, politics over nationalism. And tonight I have just one answer to them. We have just one answer to them as we collectively chant Vande Mataram.